25 ended so well, and now 26 is this bad start. So how would you explain from your perspective?
Yeah, we weren't ready to play. Drop of the puck.
In that, when they go down, when you guys go down 3-0, a lot of it seemed like just sorting out the defense on the counterattack. Just what was the struggle with that in the first period?
Yeah, I think you look at some of those goals, we were just a little out of structure. We don't make the right play with the puck to start. First shift we give up a pizza right up the middle, and it's a grade A scoring chance. And from there on out, it felt like we were on our heels.
You look at just the veteran of this team, the respect that they had. What can you take away from how they, they went over and over. They had rounds of, breaking you guys down.
Yeah, it's a competitive team. That's probably up there with one of the best teams we've seen this year, as far as how they play, how they compete, how competitive they are up and down their lineup. He's obviously done a really good job of building a culture there and what the expectation is and how you need to play, and we're obviously not there yet.
From a culture perspective, obviously Eklund steps up twice when Matt gets it. What do you think of the second one that, it did ultimately lead to a penalty against the power play? What do you think of that one?
Yeah, we stuck up for each other and stuck up for Mac, and we'll do that. I don't see that being an issue.
So with a disappointing game like this, do you take time to look at what Regenda did with the hat trick?
Obviously, you go to the net, you score goals. That's the positive of it. So good for him to get a hat trick, but we got a lot to work on.
With the slow starts, it's happened a couple times this year, most recently Vegas. Is it frustrating the lessons aren't being learned, or is it just a matter of time and experience for a lot of these guys?
I think a little bit of both. I think there's times where, we do start on time, we have good energy, we play the right way, and there's times where we don't. We got to figure the reasons out why that happens. A lot of it's self-inflicting with our puck play is really what it comes down to.
A lot of their plays early on, it seemed like they created something out of nothing with those short passes in the crease. What do you think prevented, the D's were in the position, everybody was checking back, but how they got those little passes across in the net?
They're really good players. They make Kucherov and Point are two of the best players at making plays in tight. We do need to work on, pucks go through us a lot with our D, and we got to do a better job of getting that, detail, cleaned up here a little bit.
Any update on Maduro?
No, not yet.
Did you see what happened, or is it just the same thing he's
No,
been doing?
I haven't talked to the trainers yet.
Two of those three goals to start off with were kind of similar in the sense that there's a player of yours trying to make a play in offensive zone, there's a turnover. Is that more a question of, you got to execute that play, or you shouldn't try to play like the plays that were tried there? That led to turnovers and the odd-man rushes.
Yeah, there's times you got to be able to make plays, and there's times where we want to play behind teams and play, below the top of the circles, and there's times you got to execute, so we'll look at it and fix it.
Last time you guys pulled a Yarrow there, we talked in Vegas. You said it was disappointing because you guys just aren't giving him a chance to play a whole game. So is this the same kind of thing today, where just didn't give him a chance so they can beat?
I don't know. I think there's some goals there he probably wants back. I think the second one would be one of them. Askey's been playing some pretty good hockey. Again, we forget that he's still developing as a goalie in this league and to be a number one, and this is probably a learning moment for himself.
Good. Been in the front of net and got rewarded for it, so happy with that. But the game result was not really good. Did a couple mistakes too in the backside, defensive zone. So I got a lot to learn and improve my game.
What did you see from the Lightning that made it so difficult to defend?
I feel like they were just, really fast. They holding the puck. They're experienced team, and they really look great out there. And we didn't catch the start, and that they gave them, a lot of energy. It was 3-0 right away, and it's really hard to come back against a team like that.
On your first goal, it seemed like you had a huge chance just seconds before that.
Yeah.
Can you take us through that?
Again, incredible pass by Mag. Whatever he does is just incredible, and kind of whiffed on it. And that was I was lucky that right after I had another chance, and also it was post in. So I was like, oh my God, he's not gonna go in. So yeah, but great play from Mag. Then again, guys are worked their eyes off to get it back to the net and got rewarded for it.
So when they jumped to you guys that quick, 3-0, what was said at the first intermission?
We just, we gotta wake up. They jumped on us, and like first goal, I didn't back check enough. I kind of take a breathe, didn't back check all the way down, and that cost us a goal. And then we just left them open, and guys like them, Kucherov and those guys, they're gonna score a goal right away. So yeah, just get back on track. It was 3-0. It was still, you can come back 3 goals. That's easy, and yeah, just kind of get back to our game and wake up.
How do you build confidence from your performance going forward?
From my performance, I mean, I gotta be really much better in the D zone. I had a couple mistakes I did, and I want to play up and down. Both sides of the ice are really great. So I'm confident with the goals, but unfortunately we lost the game, and just trying to enjoy every day I'm here and work around net and do what I can.
You guys go down 2-0 and then timeout is called there. Is that the same message that you mentioned between intermission, just the wake-up call? Was that what the message was after timeout?
Yeah, that was after 3 goals we had a timeout. So yeah, we just we didn't really catch the start, and we kind of were like a little bit sleepy, and we're missing like me on the back check. I just stopped for a second, left a point open, and he's gonna score that. So he's a great player. So just get back on track.
When you guys see a guy like William Eklund stand up to a Moser, a much bigger guy like that, does that kind of get you guys going?
Yeah, of course. Then we had a couple of fights there from the fourth line, and he had 2 kind of like heavy hits on the mag, and he's our best player, and nobody wants him to get injured or whatever. So of course we're gonna step for each other, and that was a really good job from Eklund. He's a smaller guy, but still, you see how the group is tight, and whatever guy it is, that he's gonna step on him.
So since you got this hat trick during a disappointing loss, is there still a memento that you'll get for your first hat trick?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have more goals now here than in Barracuda, so happy with that. And I don't even know what's going on really lately. I'm, glad I gotta thank God, for it. And just, of course, yeah, if you score 3 goals, of course you feel better than, I would have a 0 in those games. So just, just still trying to play my game, not gonna think about anything else, and not gonna create anything. Like, I'm not gonna dangle guys now, so I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. So.
Okay, thanks. We'll get you.
Yeah, I thought it came out of nowhere, pretty much. So, I had to step in there right away.
Was it good to see sort of the whole team kind of step up on that?
For sure, everybody is going to have each other's back on this team. That's something we've been showing the whole year, and I think we did today.
You look frustrated that maybe you got an extra one there, just in the situation, obviously they scored the power play goal.
I don't know why I got the extra, but, I'm not going to talk about decisions.
In the first period, it seemed like defensively, wasn't your guys' best period. Just what were you guys struggling with in the first period?
Puck play, all the ice. It's tough when you go down 3-0 early. It's really tough, and when we give the rush team, they're good in the rush, and I think that's a problem when we give them too many rush chances. They're going to score. So. It's definitely something we're going to clean up the next game.
Did you feel like maybe all the penalties kind of disrupted the rhythm as you guys attempted to get back into the game here?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit. It was, a lot of penalties today, and it's sometimes guys hit on the bench and they're going to look at the play and stuff like that. So it's one of those games, and we just got to get better next game.
That was the second time that Moser was going after Celebrini. Is that kind of why you had to decide to do what you did? Maybe not
I just saw Matt go down, and I went in there. Simple as that.
Pavol Regenda scores a hat trick. Not an ideal time for a hat trick, but still, as a hat trick is a hat trick. Just what have you seen from Pavol since he's been in?
Really good. He's been skating all over the ice, and obviously scoring a hat trick today. It's pretty special to do that in the NHL, so big up to him for doing that. So, keep going.
So Ryan, what do you thought went wrong today?
I mean, sluggish start against a little bit of a, obviously a pretty good team. you're down early and you're kind of chasing the game, you know, it's tough to battle back against teams like that. You know, we just gotta fix our start for sure.
When you look at the start, that's a veteran crew. What can you guys learn from just the way they approach a game like this?
Well, I think we know. I think, you know, starts are important. You don't want to be chasing the game the whole, you know, for, you know, essentially 55 minutes. It's not winning hockey. And we've been doing a good job of that as of late. You know, this one got away from us, but you know, I think the important thing is going to be the response in a couple days.
Ryan, what does the amount of scuffles that happened today mean for the team? One was protecting Celebrini, but how would you explain all the scuffles today?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime, you know, any player gets hit like that on our team, there's going to be a response. But you know, especially, you know, one of the best players in the world, I think you got to make sure you send a message that you don't do that to him, and you know, it's just how it goes.
On the in the penalty box, you were very animated toward a Lightning player. Just what was going on there for you particularly?
Just wishing him a happy new year.
It seemed like a struggle early on defensively, just to kind of sort out the counterattack, sort out defensively. Is it something that they do particularly dangerously, or just something that you guys just need to be better with?
I mean, when they get in motion, they're a dangerous team. You know, I think they broke our structure down in the D zone a little bit. You know, got us running around, and then they know how to hit seams. You know, that top line, they know how to you know, make you move one way and put it through the seam the other way. And once you get stretched out, it's hard to defend that. So you know, we got to do a better job of kind of protecting the house a little bit, not getting so stretched out. But yeah, I think that's how a lot of those goals went.
Ryan, tough start to 26, but overall, how's your stay here been so far?
It's been great. You know, it's a a hungry team that's on the come up, and you know, I said when I got here, you know, we're making playoffs, and you know, I still believe that. You know, one game doesn't change anything. You know, we've been playing good hockey as of late. You know, just gotta clean this one up.
Seeing a guy like Eklund stand up to JJ Moser like that, does that kind of get the bench going a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a full team sticking up for everybody. You can't just be, you know, one guy, one line. You know, once in a while, it's got to be all 20 guys on the ice, and you know, Eki's not the biggest guy, so you know, I think everybody saw that, and you know, stick taps to him for sure.
Thank you.